Okay, well, it's a pleasure to be speaking with all of you. Congratulations on a wonderful film. And I say that because you make people laugh, you make people scared, you make people curious. There's not a lot of films that do that these days. So, first, we'll talk to my director friend who also appears in the movie. It says it's a 2022 film. When did you actually film it? And it's a new film to us. It's a 2023 film to us, 2022 according to IMDb. What's the truth?
Yeah, so the truth is, we shot the film in 2021, and then in 2022, it had its first festival premiere at Beyond Fest. So then that was in September too, actually. So exactly 1 year ago. So then it had, I feel like this movie kind of had to prove itself, because we're unknown people. And so we kind of had to gain a little word of mouth toward, like, take a year and then just to gain traction and have an audience and see it, so we could get some word of mouth. And it seems like it has been, I'm very happy that the word of mouth we've been getting. As you said, there's been people who's been laughing, people who been freaked out, and I think that's I think we try to make a film where any reaction is valid, as long as it is a reaction, and hopefully a strong one. Then it's all good. I think people can laugh, people can gasp or be scared, or
I think when the average person reads the premise of the movie, they laugh, and then they see the trailer and they go, "Oh!" It's one of those kinds of things. Now, Katrine, how are you? That's question one. And then question two, was there a lot of preparation needed for this role for you?
Well, thanks for the questions. I'm great. Well, of course, there is a lot of preparations, because you have to get to know a person. And it was also very nice to the way we were working with Viljar, because he was very open for us to have input on the script, and also very open to all the ideas. And we worked on figuring out how Sigrid could have her own voice and not just be a typical, like, ends up in situations and, like, kind of a little bit dumb, but that she is it's her own decisions in a way. So it was really, really nice working with Viljar to prepare, and of course trying to understand her background and where she's coming from. And I think that her main story is that she's looking for love and connections, and that's what's hold her on to these situations. And I really liked working with her bubbly energy, and as an opposite to what Christian was as well.
Well said. Gard, a question at you here. Two-parter. One, do you have a dog? Two, how much dog-related research was needed for this role?
I had dogs up until I was 14 years old, and then I had to give it away because I became allergic, unfortunately. So I have a huge love for dogs, and I felt like I could use some of the experience I have with dogs into this movie.
Well said. So you had dogs, you had to do some research on the dogs. But in terms of scary dogs, were any of the dogs you had scary dogs like the one that we see in Good Boy?
Only kind dogs. Only kind dogs. I've had my interaction with scary dogs, though. It's so fascinating to me that many years ago, some wolves, they decided, hey, maybe we should befriend humans, maybe sit by the fire and get their leftover foods. And then suddenly we have Chihuahuas, which I've had the worst experiences with personally.
Yeah.
This friend of mine, this girl, she has a Chihuahua, which is really cute, like always shaking, as Chihuahuas do. And I petted it, and it like calmed down as I petted it, and then suddenly it just abruptly moved and bit my finger, and it was scary. It was the most scary dog I've ever met.
The little dogs, I'm sorry to interrupt you here, but I want to see if you all agree. The little dogs are the tough ones. The big ones don't have to demonstrate that they're tough because they know that they're big.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
always
glad I've
looking
been
up
offended.
to the alpha. Yeah.
And so, Katrina, did you know anybody from the cast or crew before you started working on this film? Because sometimes you come in, you audition blind, and then other people, you wind up working with the same people in 8 films.
Right. I didn't know any of them before we started. It's actually my first film ever, so it was really really nice, and I learned a lot during this experience with the rest of the crew, which was so dedicated, and also Gard helping me out a lot. He's really talented, so it was very nice. But I've actually worked with some of them afterwards, so that's also been a great pleasure.
Very interesting that it's your first film. How did you wind up cast in the role? Any idea what they saw in you, or they went, that is the person for Sigrid?
Well, Viljar, maybe you should.
I don't know either. No,
Still thinking
I
about it.
remember seeing her. No, I think both with the God and Katrine Lovise, it was, you know, their first, it was just their self tapes, you know, just them talking about themselves. I kind of, you know, because when I write, I don't have I try to not have like a person in mind when I write. So, but then when I saw these two, I kind of, when I started imagining the scenes, I was imagining them. So that was kind of first thing. And then I remember I've just thought Katrine Lovise seemed very fearless with, you know, because she showed some show reels from theater and singing and stuff. And I think this is a role that, especially both these two main roles, it takes a lot of courage to play these type of roles. So I think that was very important that you had some courageous people. And that were likable, and you know, it's people that I have to work with live with for 3 weeks, and you know, hopefully become friends with. So you kind of choosing people that you're hopefully gonna have a connection and a type of a relationship with. So I think that's also they just seemed like great people to hang around with which is also very important for the filming experience, that you like the people that you work with.
Well, my last topic / question has nothing to do with how great Good Boy is and that everybody should see it. Nothing to do with that. It's a selfish thing. My first exposure to the great nation of Norway, the Kingdom of Norway, was through music, realizing how many of my favorite hard rock artists came from Norway, but at the same time, all this great pop stuff because of Stargate. Now, who, if anyone, from Good Boy is a metalhead or likes heavy metal?
I used to be quite a metalhead back in day when I was younger, especially, you know, a little bit on the softer, I guess, Metallica, like early, the thrash metal stuff, the Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning, and those 3 first albums I was a huge fan of, and Slayer a little bit. I took some inspiration from that, you know, the music that's being played during the end, that's, you know, the music that's in the film, took definitely some inspiration from that, and you know, black metal and stuff like that. So definitely love me some metal. Yeah.
What about you, Gard? I've not been asking you anything except about dogs. Any metal, or are you a music person in general?
I am definitely a music person. I've heard my fair share of metal, for sure. I also my go-to is 60s, 70s, and 80s rock. And I have some beautiful suggestions of Norwegian artists like Susanne Sundfør.
Like TNT?
TNT.
Oh, yeah.
10,000 Lovers.
Yeah.
I've had Ronnie Letegro on the show before. I'm a big fan of TNT.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So that's it.
So TNT. Who else is in the top Norwegian metal artistry for you? Turbo Negro.
Yeah. It's hard to choose. Do you have some suggestions?
Katrina, any suggestions, or not a metal person?
Well, I'm really bad with names, and I haven't listened a lot to metal, but it's actually true. When I at school, when doing math, I did listen to metal because it really gets me hardworking in a way. So it was like my soundtrack for doing physics tasks and chemistry. But I have no idea what I listened to, but it was like just getting to work.
Well, that is why Norway is one of the greatest countries in the world, when you have well-read, smiley people who still listen to metal. There you go.
Absolutely.
So what is, before I let you all go, the best way to follow you and or Good Boy on social media? We'll throw it to Gard first.
Sure. I think I'm the most active on my Instagram social media. You can find me at Gard Løkke.
Okay. And Katrina next. Best way to follow you and or Good Boy online?
I think it's the same Instagram. You can find me under Katrine undersheet. Är det heter? Lovise.
Underscore.
Yeah.
Underscore. Yeah.
You just taught me. I didn't know that. Did you say under cheese?
No, understreck.
Oh, okay.
So I just got confused.
The Norwegian umlauts. Got it. And then last but not least, come on. You wrote it, you directed it, you appeared on camera. We give you the last word.
How to follow me? I probably should be more public with my stuff, but I guess Twitter. I think Viljar Bøe, just my name on Twitter. I think if you want to get a hold of me and follow me, I don't post a lot, but I might start soon with now that it's getting released and stuff. I think if you want to get a hold of me and follow me, you can do it there.
If they want to get a hold of you, call your agent.
Yes, absolutely.
Paltrocast.